Okay, so today we're going to do a Survivor deep dive. We're going to talk about everything Survivor. We're going to answer all the questions that people have been asking. Apparently, the Survivor Squad video just it really showcased how to build the perfect Survivor Squad, but it didn't help people understand enough about all the nuances of survivors and picking survivors and personalities and whatnot. So we're going to talk about all of that today. So hopefully by the time this video is done, you will be a professional survivor picking machine and understand exactly how to utilize these fully to your advantage. All right, guys. So if you love the videos that we do, if you love our content, please use our supporter creator code. It really helps us out and helps us to keep on making content for you guys. So thank you so much for the support. All right, let's get right into it. So you go to your command tab, you go to survivors, you go to manage. These are your survivors. You got tons and tons and tons of them. There's all kinds of goodies in here. Right? As you can see, I've got a massive list of mythics and legendaries. Just tons. And they come in all sorts of different variants. There's tons and tons of variants, and we're going to talk about all of them today so you can understand how best to make these work for you. So things to note about this system is, as you can see in the top left, it says sorted by rating. We can actually sort these using the L stick. You see the bottom right, it says sort with L. So if you push the stick in, you can sort by rarity. So you can push all the mythics to the top. You can sort by level. So you have all your highest level heroes at the top. You see there's Carolina and Joel. They are power level 145 mythics. Super powerful. These are survivors. The mythic survivor leads are going to be power level 135 when they're maxed out, and the legendary survivors are going to be 130. So that's kind of an interesting to note on. You can also go by set bonus, which is what I usually go by. Set bonus is the most relevant because this is how you're going to really pick the ones that match what you're looking for. The other one that you can do is you can sort by personality. This is the one that I usually sit on by default. I usually switch between those two. This is if you sort by personality, though. This is where you can really see, how many survivors you have to fit into a personality category. Personality categories are very, very important because when you go to your squads, all of your personalities have to match the leader in order to get the maximum bonus possible. By matching your survivor personality to the leader's personality, the survivor gets double the power. So he becomes twice as strong. So it's just a massive bonus. So you can see the personality of the leader is analytical. That looks like 3 little diamonds. And all of these guys have analytical personalities as well, matching up. So they all get boosted power level. And as you can see, the boosted number shows in blue, or kind of a greenish blue, and it's 138. So that's the boosted value of these heroes. It boosts them all the way up to power level 138. So pretty cool, very strong. So when you are looking to populate your survivor squads, what you want to do is ultimately anything that is not a mythic leader or a legendary survivor, you need to know that you're going to recycle it, or you're going to collect it in the book. And once your collection book is full, if you keep getting duplicates of those things, you're just going to keep on recycling them. Every time I get a gray, a green, a blue, or a purple survivor, I just automatically recycle it. Anytime I get a legendary survivor lead, I automatically recycle it. My collection book is already full and of all of those things, so anytime I see them, they have no value. They're pointless, right? They don't have a function for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort by set bonus, and we're going to show you what all these set bonuses do, so you know which ones to pick for yourself. Now, ultimately, when you're building your survivor squads, your decision-making process is going to change based on what stage of the game you're in. As a max level player with tons of options, I'm exploring a lot more, min-max, specific strategies, and I'm really trying to do some advanced tactics. But for players who are not level 131, who are not maxed out yet, your experience is going to be very, very different. When you go into this, you're probably going to have, some multicolored survivors, right? You're not going to have all legendary survivors. That's not going to be an option for you. You're probably not going to have any mythic leads, or you're going to have limited mythic leads, and maybe those mythic leads are not going to match the majority of your survivors. So ultimately, what you want to do is you just want to do the best you can, right? When you build your squad, if you have a mythic lead, then use the mythic lead above all else. That is your number one. Everything is built around the leader. So if you get a mythic leader, you got to look at the leader. You have to look at the leader match. If you look at the bottom middle, it says leader match doctor. It shows you the little doctor icon with the wings and the snakes. That is how you know where this goes. If you look at the EMT squad in the top left, it shows that little EMT icon, the doctor icon with it's the little falcon attached to, or it's like a staff with wings with snakes intertwined. For this one here, it's a crosshairs. For this one here, it's a plane. For this one here, it is a gear. We have a dumbbell, a punching glove, a binoculars, a light bulb. So these here are the icons for each of the respective categories. And if you look at the doctor and you look at his leader match, you'll see he has the correct leader match and he's put in the correct tree. This guy has the correct leader match. He has the marksman leader match, and it matches the fire team alpha icon, and you see the check mark indicating that he is in the right job. So you have to put the mythic leader in the correct job slot. So once you have a fire team alpha mythic leader, you put him here, and then you build all your survivors around him, ultimately getting all legendary survivors with matching personalities. Before you get to that point, though, you're just going to put whatever you have, so whatever fits, right? If you don't have a mythic survivor lead, you're going to put a legendary survivor lead. If you don't have a legendary survivor lead for the person for the leader match, because the leader match is the number one thing for the fire for your slot, right? For fire team alpha, you want the highest rarity leader match that you can get. So if the best that you can get is no leader match at all, then just go and put whatever the highest power level leader you have in there, just as a temporary placeholder. And as you get better ones, you can just put better ones in there, and then you build around them. So whenever you put a new leader in, you remove all of the survivors from that tree, and then you go and you start picking new survivors, and you start picking based off of the highest rarity personality match that you can find. And when you are switching your survivors and your leaders around, when you have to pick a new leader and you have to find all new survivors with personality matches to that leader, what's going to happen is you're going to end up with a much weaker power level in the short term, because you're going to be using a bunch of characters that are probably not leveled up, right? You go and you get a leader and you get a bunch of survivors, and you level them all up, because they match, and then all of a sudden you find a better mythic or a better leader, and you replace him, and then you got to replace all the survivors to try to find personality matches for those ones. So my advice when you're leveling through the game is, don't worry too much about leveling up your stuff. If you get legendary survivors, you can level those up. You can max them out, because you know that a legendary survivor is going to be an end game tool that you're going to keep pretty much forever, because you never know if you're going to eventually create a build that is going to include that type of bonus. So whereas white, green, blue, and purple survivors are all, in the long run, garbage, so you don't really want to invest resources into upgrading them. What I did is I leveled all of them up to level 10 because Survivor XP was not really an issue for me. I had lots of Survivor XP, but I didn't evolve them because I didn't want to waste my evolution materials. Evolution materials is a lot harder to get, so I didn't want to waste my time and energy investing evolution materials into something I was going to eventually recycle anyway. So that's what I did. I leveled my guys, my survivors up to level 10, and I used them until I found legendaries, and then I started using legendary survivors even though they didn't have personality matches to the leader, because I didn't have better options. So because I had this leader, I had a leader that had a job match, right? He had the check mark. His job, he matched the team that he was in. So I had a fire team alpha job matching leader. I put him in there, but I didn't have any survivors with matching personalities in legendary. But I did have a lot of legendary survivors at that point. So what I ended up doing is I would just I would level up and I would evolve my legendary survivors to as high as I could get them, and I would put them into that slot even though they didn't match the personality. And this is a good fix in the short term, because you level up your survivors. He is a high power level. The power level boosts you and gives you good stats. But then when you find a legendary survivor that actually matches your mythic lead, then you can pull that guy out. You take him out, you put him on the bench, you just save him for later, and you put the personality matching one in there and you level him up. So that's kind of the way the flow goes, is you start with your leader and you work your way down from there. So you get the highest rarity leader that you can get. Then you try to get the highest. You go with legendaries first. So get the highest the highest rarity leader that you can get for each job match. Then you put as many legendary survivors underneath him as possible, prioritizing the ones with personality matches first. Always take legendary survivors over any of the other color survivors, because the legendary survivors you're going to keep long term, the other ones you're not. So that's kind of where I lie with the logic of which subordinates I use under a leader. Eventually you're going to look like this. Everything's going to be perfect. You're going to have a mythic leader with a leader match. You're going to have all legendary survivors, all with a personality match to the leader. And then when you look at the subcategory for these guys, we're going to go over the set bonuses now. So now the set bonuses are something you consider down the road. Now you're in the end game. Now you have all of your mythic survivor leads. You have all of your legendary survivors with personality matches. And now we want to go and look deeper into these set bonuses and see if we can actually make some set bonuses match up. Now the set bonuses are lower priority than any of the other things we talked about. The set bonuses don't matter until you have, the best leader, personality match to the job, survivors personality matched to the leader, and then once you have that, if you can find set bonuses that integrate into that, then you start doing it. So now let's talk about the set bonuses. The set bonuses come in a variety of different choices. You have, we're going to go to manage, and we're going to look by set bonus. So these guys here, these are your ability power. The wrenches is it augments the ability power of your set. So when you go into the squad and you look at your bonus, you've got a few different options, right? This is the range bonus. So if we go to change this to another hero, we can sort these by where we go. No, not leader personality. Slotting bonus. There we go. Slotting bonus. So we can sort by slotting bonus, and you can see the different options, right? You have trap durability. That's what you can see the little icon. It's a trap with a health bar above it. This is how many uses you can use your traps. So the more trap durability bonuses you have, as a set, you need 2 of them together to get the set bonus. If you do that, your traps will have higher durability. Now we're going to scroll down to here. This is the range damage bonus. It looks like a gun. This one is a 3 out of 3 match. And this will, if you get a 3 out of 3 match for the gun set bonus, the range damage bonus, it will raise your offense by a little bit. Just by a little bit. It'll actually augment how much damage you do when you're using weapons. Now we also have the health bonus, which looks like a heart. This is a 2 out of 2 match bonus. So if you get 2 health bonuses, then you will get a modifier raising the health of your stats. So your health will be higher. You will have more health. After that, we have the ability damage bonus. It looks like a wrench with a little fire around it. This is just basically all of your skills like shockwave, shock tower, all of your abilities. When you get a 3 out of 3 bonus for the ability damage bonus wrench, it will give you a very, very small increase to the damage you do while using abilities. We also have a shield bonus, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a 2 out of 2 match, so you need to get 2 of them matched up in your set, and it will give you a little bit more shields added onto your shield value. This one is the melee damage bonus. It's the hammer and knife crisscrossed. You need 3 of them to get the bonus, and the melee damage bonus will give you a little bit more damage whenever you use melee weapons like swords. This one here is the shield regen bonus. You need 2 of them to get this bonus, and the icon is a little battery. The shield regen bonus, when you activate this, it will give you a faster regeneration on your shields. So whenever your shields go to regenerate, the shields will replenish quicker, which can be pretty valuable, but for me is actually a very low priority among all the different options. That's probably my least favorite, my least cared about. This one here is the trap damage bonus. It is the trap. You need 3 of them to activate, and it will raise the damage of your traps by a tiny little amount. Now, the amount of impact these slot bonuses have on your stats are virtually nothing. They barely matter at all. But by getting these bonuses, it will raise the power level of these characters ever so slightly, and it can actually make a difference on getting you closer to your 131. Because they do give a slight increase to your stats. So just something to think about when you're populating your builds. As you can see in the bottom left, it tallies up all of my stuff. I have 3 guns, so I got a 3 out of 3 bonus in range damage. I have 4 durabilities, so I got a 2 out of 2 bonus, and the 2 out of 2 bonus giving me an extra 8% trap durability and another 8% trap durability. If I go into the next tree, this one's different. This one I managed to get a health bonus with 2, and then another health bonus with a second set of 2, and then I got a melee damage bonus with 3. The melee damage bonus I actually went with because I had a mythic survivor, Carolina, and by luck, or not luck, she happened to roll out with a melee damage bonus. That was her set bonus, and I have to use her because she is a mythic, right? She has a much higher power level, so she gives me 153 power into my fire team alpha, which is incredibly strong. So I was obligated to work with her set bonus and try to get that to unlock the melee damage bonus. I didn't really have an option, or I would have probably went with trap damage. Trap damage for me is a lot better because I use traps all the time, whereas I don't really use melee all the time. But you get what you get. There are 2 mythic survivors in the game, Carolina and Joel, and with him, he was actually much worse. I don't mind melee damage, but shield damage is a complete waste of time for me because I usually run with Blast from the Past, and that really hoops me because you don't have shields, right? So getting the 2 out of 2 shield bonus for this character was a complete waste of time. I did it anyway just so I could see the bonus And if I happen to use a character that had shields, I would get a very tiny bonus to the shield value. So I kind of got, I did not get lucky when I picked him up as a survivor. Hopefully you guys will get luckier and you'll get something more useful like health or trap durability, which are my two favorites. Health because it synergizes with Blast from the Past, and trap durability because it's just really good. It makes your traps last longer, and even if you get one extra trap usage, you know, it can make a big difference on the battle. So this one here, I have a 3 out of 3 trap damage bonus. I got one here, I got one here, and then the one over here. Those are my 3 trap characters. And that one's not bad. That's actually my favorite, is when I can get trap damage on my characters. You know, trapping is the vast majority of damage in this game is from traps, from trap tunnels, much more so than guns. So for me, it was a no-brainer. Try to go for the maximum damage possible. There's my health bonus. I got that by, you know, for my Blast from the Past to try to get the most amount of health possible, the biggest, you know, multipliers possible. In this one here, I went and got 3 melee damage bonus. Now, a lot of these I didn't have a choice, right? A lot of these are luck. When you go to change these and choose different ones, the way I build my characters is I have a 3 out of 3 set bonus and then 2 out of 2 set bonuses. Because you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options, right? The numbers line up perfectly. 3 plus 2 plus 2 equals a full set. So naturally you're going to get the best bonus by utilizing all of those stats. You could go with a 2, 2, 2 and have one, you know, unused, right? Not being used. But typically I usually try to get the 3 out of 3 bonus locked in. Now when you're picking which one you have, you can see I already have, you know, 3 melee damage bonuses. But if I go to pick a different one, see here is a range damage bonus. Say I want to get a range damage bonus, I would have to take this one here. I would have to take this one here. Here's another range damage bonus. And I would have to take this one here. So I could do that. I could swap out my my melee, and I could get a range damage bonus instead. If I decided that guns were having a little bit of gun damage was more important than having a little bit of melee damage, then that's what I would do. I would swap out my melee characters and I would put in my my gun characters. And notice all of these are all personality matched. I have 3 melee with the curious personality. I have 3 guns with the curious personality. However, if I want to go with ability damage bonus, see this character right here, I need 3 out of 3. And if you look through my curious sets, oh look, I have 1 here, I have 1 here, and that's it. I don't have a third, right? So I actually don't have enough ability damage bonus characters to unlock that set. So that one is not actually an option for me at all. So this is where you kind of come into endgame. Even at my stage in the game, I've been playing for just an insane amount of time, right? You know, well over, 700 days. I'm probably sitting at, my daily rewards are now 769 as of making this video, 769 days logged in, and I still don't have enough like of the different survivors to get all the bonuses I want. I actually at one point was using trap durability in every single slot, and I had pretty close to it. I had almost enough to get a 16, four trap durabilities for every single tree, with the exception, of course, of Joel, because he was a shield, so I couldn't use a trap durability for this one here. However, I decided recently that because I'm using Blast in the Past, it would be a good idea to switch to health. So as you see here, this one here, I got lucky. I have health, 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 health. Sorry, health, 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 and over here, 4 hearts. So that gives me a 2 out of 2 bonus and another 2 out of 2 bonus. I wanted to do that in every single tree, except that this one here, you notice, is all trap durability. Now the reason for that is because of when I went to change it, and I went to go and pick up some health heroes, oh look, I don't have any. Even after all those 769 days played, I only have one health set bonus. So we can scroll down into my unleveled characters. Here we go. So here's my curious characters here. These are the ones that I have not leveled up, and as you can see, none of them are health, I don't think. Nope. Shields, ability power, melee, ability, guns, and that's it. Shields, guns, abilities. We got shield regeneration, shields and guns and all kinds of stuff, but none of them are health. So that's why I couldn't do it. I had to leave the trap durability once in there because I could not, even after all this time, I still do not have curious personality health set bonuses. And so I couldn't do it. So I always keep on getting them. Every time I see a legendary survivor in Twine Peaks, I always go do the mission. I always get the survivor, and I hope for the best. I cross my fingers and always hope that I get a health bonus, or get something that actually fills in the gaps of my set. So there are a lot of different things to consider when you're setting up your survivor squads and you're trying to flesh out how to build the best thing. What is the best thing? You have all these options, and it's up to you to pick the one that works the best for you. For me, I really liked trap durability for a long time. I tried to max out every single slot with trap durability. Now I find myself fighting more as a tank, taking a lot of damage, trying to protect my team, and because of that, I'm trying to go for health. And but the set bonuses are by far the least important thing that you can possibly focus on. You're definitely going to start using them later on down the road once your sets are looking spectacular, and you want a little bit more. You start adding on to that. But hopefully this is a good explanation, a good discussion of how to choose the right choices. When you're going through, we'll just do a small recap. When you're going through to build your set, first thing you do is you go to the leader. Actually, the first thing you do is you go, hey, let's imagine you are really new to the game, and you're like, which of these things are the most important? Because you're not even going to have all 6 of these as options. So fortitude is health. Offense is how much damage your guns do. Resistance is how much shields you have, and tech is how much damage your traps do, and how much you heal for when you use like adrenaline rush, right? The tech will actually augment your gadgets. So those are the 4 categories. You need to decide which of these 4 categories are the most important to you. Back when I was new to the game, offense was the only thing that I cared about. I found out later that once you start using traps, tech is actually way more powerful than offense, and you are way more likely to win games by investing heavily into tech. Offense is still fantastic. Shields, I always found, were pretty worthless in the game. I've never been a big fan of shields, especially now that Blast from the Past is a set bonus for people that were around when those heroes came out. And once you have them, all you really care about is having more health. So pick the category that you like the best. For a new player, I suspect offense is going to be your number 1 choice. Put your best leader in that slot, even if he's not if you don't have a leader match at all, just put the best leader you have in that slot, and then put the highest power level hero as a subordinate underneath him. That will give you the most amount of power level that you can get, focused into the offensive tree, raising your damage, giving you more survivability, and hopefully more likelihood to win. Now, as you get more options, you're going to get better and better leaders, higher rarity leaders. And whenever you get a higher rarity leader, you try to put legendary survivors in this slot that match his personality. And if you can do that, you're going to get really huge bonuses. Now, if you don't have any legendary survivors, then you want to take the highest rarity survivor you can that has a matching personality to get the most amount of bonus possible, to raise your offense by the most amount possible, and hopefully, giving you enough survivability and enough stats to keep on cranking out harder and harder missions. So that's the gist of how it works. You always work from the top down, start from the leader, get the highest rarity leader, then put as many legendary survivors underneath him as you can, then focus on getting personality matches for that leader, and then once you have maxed everything out and you have duplicates of everything and you start getting enough slot bonus characters to start crafting sets and building slot bonus sets, then you can start fine-tuning your character to how you want, and knowing that building the slot bonuses actually does raise your power level by a tiny bit as well. All right, guys, I really hope that this deep dive discussion on the different survivors, the survivor squad building, how to choose, what to focus on first, and how to, what the process is. Yeah, I really hope that this all helps you out and helps you understand it on a greater detail than our how to build the perfect survivor squad video. If you did find this video helpful, if you find it was good and it gave you what you were missing, then please comment down below and let me know. Let me know if this video did a good job explaining what the other one did not. And if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up, it really helps us out. Ring that little bell for notifications. And thank you so much for watching my videos, guys. Thank you for being a part of the Vash Corps and making it possible to keep on creating content for you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the support. I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah!